かけてみようか縁取られた奇跡から充満してく術を挑戦のオーバータイム導くジェニュアなノーパで熱く燃えたぎる鼓動を破裂しても
Hi everybody, this is Kevin and welcome back to another anime review. And today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Eden Zero episode 27, which I thought was another great episode. We got to see the debut of a fan favorite character, Laguna, as well as a few battles featuring Witch, and then later on, Weiss getting ready to fight Laguna, which will continue in next week's episode. But as far as last week's episode, if you didn't already know, it was the start of Season 2, and so there was a bit of recap, as well as getting the viewers reacquainted to the characters. And the main plot is that the Eden Zero is being pursued by this giant spaceship called the Belial Gore, which is led by Draken Joe, and he's after the Eden Zero's Aetherion. And after learning this, Shiki, Homura, Weiss, and Pino decided to go to Belial Gore and defeat Draken Joe. But as soon as they got there, they realized it's not even really a spaceship. It's a giant space station that has a city on it, and they got lost. They couldn't find him, and after they were sort of goofing around, once they went outside, they saw on the big screen Draken Joe was greeting them and said, "There's a bounty on your head. I'm going to send the Element 4 after you. You're through. I'm going to take the Eden Zero whether you like it or not." So their situation's not looking too good. And then it ended with three more of his warriors, Maria, Seth, and Diego, on the Eden Zero, ready to face off against Witch. So that's right where this episode starts. And Witch just mops the floor of them. She activates her assault mode, which gives her all these elemental abilities, such as ice, wind, and then lightning. And Draken Joe's forces are taken aback by this because he has his elite group of warriors, the Element 4, which their abilities are water, fire, wind, and earth. And they're like, how can one person do this? Which isn't a person, she's an android, right? So she defeats them. And the two of them, Seth and Diego, blow themselves up because they're androids as well. So they're like, fuck this shit. But Maria, I guess she's a human, but later on you realize maybe she's not because she can turn into a slime. Her name is Maria Slime, and she's able to escape later on. So sorry for spoilers, but either in the next episode or the following episode it's going to happen. And there's a funny scene where Sister is, it's torture time because she's crazy, man. I'll have some funny screenshots of her and just the faces that Rebecca, Happy, and Hermit make while they're watching this. So great fight, seeing Witch in action. And then seeing Maria in action, too, for other reasons, of course, because this is a Hiro Mashima manga, after all. But it goes back to Belial Gore, and Shiki's group are trying to escape, and Weiss, having the Machina Maker Ether Gear, is able to manipulate machinery, right? So he has this smartphone where he has the Dress Factory app on the smartphone, and the Dress Factory is on the Eden Zero ship. He can change all their outfits, and with his, on his phone, can change their whole appearance, change their avatars, and he changes his avatar to this hot chick that he had, which is paying homage to the Digitalis arc in the first season, when he changed into a woman, and they're like, "Why'd you change into a girl?" "Oh, I want to feel myself." And he's just bouncing himself around, so he changed himself into that. Shiki just turns into a generic character. Pino, who is an android, turns into a human, and she's like, I'm a human. And then Homura doesn't change anything but her clothes, and she wears like a bikini now. And Homura's like, I can't wear this. Nothing's changed. They're wearing less clothes now. And Weiss is like, oh, you look great. You can just blend in like that strip club we were at before. And she's like, how dare you? So she turns into a Victorian-looking woman with her cleavage showing, which is funny. I guess that's better than just wearing a bikini. And as they're goofing around, Laguna appears, who is the element of water. And his ability, his ether gear, he can like manifest a water blade, which he does later in his fight against Homura. But if you cry in front of him, you turn into water. And Shiki is just a hot mess. So he turns to water right away. And Pino, seeing her master turn to water, is like, no, master, he's gone. And Weiss is like, no, he's still alive. We can turn back to normal. Don't cry, Pino. And Pino starts crying. She turns into water. Weiss is making fun of him, calling him a makeup-looking bastard because Laguna you know, he has an interesting look about him. He has blue hair, blue lipstick. He's wearing high heels. He is a dude. And in later arcs, it's revealed that he has a lover who's a girl. So I don't know what the deal is with Laguna's outfit, but he has an outfit. And Weiss calls him a makeup-looking bastard. And, and so Laguna says, well, you're a cross-dressing looking bastard. So Laguna steps on his foot with his high heels. That causes him to cry. And then there's an instance where Homura is fighting Laguna with her blade, and Laguna takes out an onion to make her cry. And as he's gathering up the water, putting them in 4 individual bottles, he has 3 of them, realizes that Weiss's puddle has disappeared, and Weiss is like, ha, I fooled you! I got the Machina Maker! And he pulls out the smartphone again, and it was like a mirage that he cried before with the crying emoji. That's how he evaded Laguna. So he turns back into his Weiss form, and he does like his almost like a Super Sentai pose, and he turns into the Arsenal mech. And the episode ends with Weiss getting ready to face off against Laguna. So a great episode, lots of laughs. And now I'm going to show you some of the screenshots. So let's take a look. And I will mention, too, later about the whole Crunchyroll situation, because now Eden Zero is available on Crunchyroll if you guys want to watch it there. So that's good news. So it starts off with these 3 making their way here. This guy's name is Seth, Maria, and Diego. And they have these turrets. They take them out. And they're like, oh, I guess we got to send Witch. So Witch appears. They try shooting her. She has her force field. And then she uses her Assault Witch mode and gets her armor. Like, yeah, her helmet. Well, the helmet stays the same. She just gets, like, body armor around her. And Maria Slime, like I said, she can turn into a slime monster. She has elastic abilities, so she does this sexually provocative stretch, because why not? And the placement of the hands, my goodness. So, yeah, mocking her. Demon King, a witch, what's next? And she shocks them all, defeats them, like one-shots, that's it. And Hermit is praising Witch as the Steel Sorceress. Don't mess with the Steel Sorceress. I will show no mercy. So, it cuts to Sister. As for them, I'll collect them. It's torture time. Look at her face. And Rebecca and Abby, what do you mean? What are you going to torture her with? And Hermit like, oh, that's just the way she is. She likes to torture her victims. So they get their communications back online, because, yeah, last week's episode ended with their communications being disrupted, but now that those 2 were defeated, they can talk to the Eden Zero crew again. And Homura says, don't tell me they used Moscow's hidden power. Which Moscow? I talked about him last week. He's Sister's associate, and he has this giant button on his belly button, and it says, don't push. And he's always threatening to push it. He hasn't pushed it yet, but he will, I'm sure. So this is the little silhouette of Draken Joe's Special Forces, the Element 4, where that's Laguna right there. I'll tell you the names of the other guys once they appear, but they haven't appeared yet. And her sister getting ready to torture Maria. What is going on here? Like, what you doing with those hands and that smile? My goodness. Okay. So we also get this scene which says, you know, remember this guy for later, Captain Connor. And there's a giant hole in the ship now, too, which is why they're wearing, you know, helmets. But which she's an android, so she can breathe. And they're surveying the damage. And, yeah, it's just like, oh, remember Captain Connor for later, will you? That's all they're saying. So here's the wanted poster. I love how everyone has a serious look at Shiki. He's just smiled like, yeah, I'm wanted. I don't care. So everyone's chasing after him, and they got to run. And we see Seabeer again, who's watching it on TV, and he's like, oh, my friend Weiss, he's in trouble. So Draken Joe, he's talking about he's the Dark Alchemist after all. That's his ether gear ability, alchemy, and has the 4 elements here: water, wind, fire, and earth. So he has his app. What's the other stuff he has on the app here? Like, what even is this? What's that? His Tinder? He's got his MMORPG, gambling, video games. He's got it all. So he turns himself into that. Which, they went to this digital planet called Digitalis in the first season, and that was his avatar there. So he went back to it. And then Shiki just turned into a generic character, and then Pino is a human, and she's so happy. And then Homura's in her bikini, like, the indecency, I can't wear this. So she puts on like this Victorian outfit, and that's better for her. And Pino does this little dance. Look, I'm a human, which I have this video. I'm a human. I guess you could repeat it with her spinning around. So sweet. You gotta love Pino. How can you not love Pino? So then Laguna shows up, and he says he's the spirit of water. And anyone who cries will turn to water. Weiss brings Shiki and Pino back, you makeup bastard. And you're a cross-dressing bastard. So he stomps on Weiss with his high heels. And the subtitles, man. I'll make you wet in no time. What? So he gets his water blade and Homura. She can use blade ether gear. They have a fight. And, you know, Homura could probably beat him, but then he pulls out an onion out of his ass, I guess, and makes her cry. So then Weiss is like, ha! I saw through all your nonsense with my Machina Maker. That's a good transition, too, right? And he does this, I have a GIF, which I'll show you even better, but his Super Sentai Machina Maker pose to get Arsenal, which is his mech suit. So how badass is that? And my buddy on Twitter here, Switch Points, did a GIF, so let's check it out. I don't know why I'm being quiet, but it's just a cool pose. You gotta love it. And Weiss with Arsenal has some great moments later on in the series. I love it, man. So Weiss, really underrated character. I know everyone loves Shiki, everyone loves the waifus. Weiss is cool. I really do enjoy Weiss. And then last week's episode, we got the opening, but as the ending theme, every anime has an opening and ending. As the ending theme was playing with the episode, it was just the song, not the actual ending theme. And in this ending theme, it's Rebecca, like, all sad, progressively getting happier. So I just took a screenshot of Rebecca because, you know, why not? Hey, I'm rocking my Rebecca shirt. So I was rocking my Shiki shirt last week, and today I'll rock my Rebecca shirt. But that's all I have for Eden Zero shirts. So I don't know what I'll rock next week. But yeah, this is from the first season when with Iliga when she's wearing her cat suit. So yeah, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was great. I'm a big Eden Zero fan. You already know it. I'm a big Hiro Mashima fan. And that's all I got. So stay tuned next week for my review of episode 28. We'll see Laguna in action against Weiss. And then maybe we'll see the wind element, who, you know. And also the Crunchyroll thing. So yeah, Mediatune, I was talking about the whole streaming debacle last week. Mediatune is this French company which had the global streaming rights, but, you know, no one could watch it. I mean, I could watch it, but people who want to, like, watch it legitimately don't have any kind of app for that. So Crunchyroll swooped in, and they have the streaming rights now, so you can watch all the episodes there. And we'll know by the 4th episode of the season if there'll be an English dub airing at the same time. Because usually when the seasonal anime go, you get like 3 or 4 episodes, and then the English dub starts. So I'll be watching to see if the same voice actors return, because I love the English dub. So thanks, guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Peace out.